Now, violence involving regional allies of Iran-backed Hamas, considered a terrorist group by the United States and EU, has surged since the war in Gaza began. Deadly violence in West Bank, exchanges of fire over Israel's border with Lebanon, and strikes by US forces and Iran-backed Houthi rebels in the Red Sea have raised fears of an escalation beyond the Gaza Strip. Iran is going after targets in Iraq, Syria, and now 2 US Navy sailors are missing off the coast of Somalia, another nation in West Asia, North Africa region. Adding to the worrisome mix here is the involvement of terror groups like ISIS and Al-Shabaab. Fighting has ravaged the Gaza Strip since the 7th of October, when Hamas militants carried out an unprecedented attack on Israel. It resulted in more than 1,100 deaths, mostly civilians. Vowing to destroy Hamas, Israel began a relentless military campaign that has killed over 24,000 people in Gaza, mostly women and kids. The United Nations says more than 3 months of conflict have displaced roughly 85% of Gaza's population, crowded into shelters and struggling to get food, water, fuel, medical care. Since the start of the Israel-Hamas war in Gaza, the West Bank has experienced a level of violence not seen since the Second Intifada between 2000 and 2005. 3 Palestinians were killed Monday in separate clashes with the Israeli army. The Israeli army said its troops had opened fire and killed 1 person in Dura near Hebron after a crowd of around 100 hurled Molotov cocktails and blocks at them. The Israel-Lebanon border has seen near-daily exchanges of fire between Iran-backed Hezbollah militants and Israeli forces. Violence on the border since the 7th of October has killed at least 190 people in Lebanon, including over 140 Hezbollah fighters and more than 20 civilians, including 3 journalists. In Israel's north, at least 15 people, including 9 soldiers, have been killed. Israel and Hezbollah fought a month-long war in 2006. Yemen's Houthi rebels hit a US-owned cargo vessel with a missile on Monday. It heightened fears for the volatile region after repeated attacks on shipping triggered American and British strikes. After the Western strikes against scores of rebel targets last Friday, the Houthis said that they would not be deterred and declared that the US and British interests were legitimate targets. Attacks by and against the Houthis as part of the axis of resistance of Iran-aligned groups have raised concerns about violence spreading in the region from the Gaza war. The Houthis say their attacks on Red Sea shipping are in solidarity with Gaza, where Iran-backed Hamas militants have been at war with Israel. Around 12% of global trade normally passes through the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, the Red Sea's entrance between southwest Yemen and Djibouti. The rebel attacks have caused much shipping to be diverted thousands of miles around Africa. Iran's Revolutionary Guards have launched missile attacks on multiple terrorist targets in Syria and Iraq's autonomous Kurdistan region. The official Iranian news agency said that the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps missiles destroyed a supply headquarters and a gathering of anti-Iranian terrorist groups in Erbil. Remember, Erbil, it's the capital of Iraq's autonomous Kurdistan region. The Iranian troops later hit with ballistic missiles in Syria at what it dubbed gathering places of commanders and main elements related to recent terrorist operations. On the 3rd of January, suicide bombers struck crowds gathered near the tomb of the revered late IRGC General Qasem Soleimani in the southern city of Kerman, and the attack, for which the Islamic State group later claimed responsibility, that killed around 90 people and left scores wounded. The IRGC also said that it had struck an alleged Israeli target, announcing a missile attack and the destruction of Israeli spy headquarters in the Kurdistan region of Iraq. It said that the Israeli spy headquarters in Kurdistan had been the center for developing espionage operations and planning terrorist actions in the region. Analysts and experts worry that the tensions are spreading to North Africa. 2 US Navy sailors have been reported missing at Red Sea while conducting operations off the coast of Somalia. The sailors were forward deployed to the US 5th Fleet area of operations, supporting a wide variety of missions. The 5th Fleet's area of operations covers about 2.5 million square miles of water and includes the Gulf, Red Sea, Gulf of Oman, parts of the Indian Ocean. U.S. forces have long operated in Somalia in coordination with and on the behalf of the government, mostly conducting regular aerial strikes to support official forces fighting extremists at Al-Shabaab rebels. Washington has designated Al-Shabaab as a terrorist organization. According to the U.S. Africa Command, Al-Shabaab is the largest and the most kinetically active Al-Qaeda network in the world. Alarm bells are ringing. Fears of a deadly spillover in the Tinderbox region continue to spiral.
Also hold more than 75 military aircraft, including fighter jets, and comes along with several supporting warships. The nuclear-powered
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.